Truck Pull Championship Series featuring the battle of the monster trucks. Hi, everybody. I'm Ken Brew. I've been looking all day for my partner, Mike Galloway. Boy, talk about an entrance. Mike Galloway has just had the ride of the night, and the show hasn't even started. How did you arrange that?
Well, I was a little late. I was out in the pit area looking at the monster truck and got carried away.
You got carried in, too, by the Virginia Giant and Neil Wilson.
Oh, that's a great ride. That is a great ride. Some great competition tonight, Ken Brew. The modified truck should be outstanding. We've got a couple of past national champions. We've got a person that's currently ranked second in the points championship race. And it's a good track. It's a good play surface. It's going to be good all night.
We've got some two-wheel drive vehicles and, of course, the big guys, the monster trucks.
Oh, the monster trucks, and they're great. We've got the Virginia Giant. We've got Barefoot. We've got Barefoot tracks. We've got a whole program. We've got Tim Arfons with his Jet Funny car. Hey, this is great.
Not a bad deal either. Hey, listen, can you climb back up?
I can get up.
All right, let's see it. Mike Galloway, ladies and gentlemen, with the ride of the night. And we'll stand by for Neil Wilson. Budweiser and the United States Hot Rod Association presents the Truck Pull Championship Series featuring the Battle of the Monster Trucks. Tonight's show is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, and proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. For all you do, this Bud's for you. I'll tell you one thing, we're not at sea level. We are mile high tonight in Denver, and that creates some problems for the drivers. Our Mike Galloway has both feet on the ground and has the behind-the-scenes story.
Pulling trucks like athletes have to adjust to the altitude. In mile-high Denver, there's probably as many adjustments for the altitude as there is pulling trucks here tonight. But a lot of the pullers we're going to see tonight change the pill. And just to be real simple about a pill, it's a piece of brass that monitors the flow of fuel into the motor. Now, in the particular truck that we're looking at, mounts down inside front of the injector system. Real simple situation. The fuel flows through this. It's metered to the motor, and that's how much fuel you come up with. If you think you've got the pill right, you still need a little extra work. You change the gearing. This is a pretty complicated situation, as it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to change the gear combination and the transmission. But the pills tonight are going to be very, very important. Most of these trucks run at sea level or a little above, and we're at mile high, and it's going to make a lot of difference tonight. We're going to let you know tonight, truck by truck, how these guys are adjusting for the altitude.
And here is Dan Coelho from that seemingly mythical city of Turlock, California, where there is a sled on every corner and every gas station has fuel, alcohol fuel. And it seems like all the great drivers in the sport, some of them at least, come from Turlock, California.
Dan Coelho with his wild hair is just about ready to go. Let's see what Dan did. Dan went down on the gear on this particular truck. Dropped a gear in it, and the reason they're doing that is because of the fuel situation. If the motor doesn't come to life, if the motor lays down all the way down, you never see a lot of ground speed. You never see a lot of tire speed. The motors are fat. You can pull the spark plug out at the end of it. That's why you're going to see a lot of people drop down. And there is a wild hair. Riding shotgun for Dan Coelho there in the side window. That beautiful Dodge truck. Big KV motor. Sounds good.
Using the left side of the track and a good pull.
A good move on Dan Coelho. Motor's still just a little bit fat, and I think he could go down maybe another point on the pill. But that motor has sounded better than anything we've seen so far tonight, so that thing is really going to be in the program.
The wild hair.
Take a look at him. He doesn't get a lot of hole shot out of it, but they're going to try to mash the motors about 5 foot out tonight. There's good track, Ken Brew. It's a good clay track. It goes together well. They can leave hard with the sled. He's kicking up a little good clay down the track, not having a lot of problems running the left-hand side of the track. Everything going real well for the big KB. I think that's going to be a tough mark. He's down deep on the track.
And for the wild hair tonight, Dan Coelho with a pull of 171 feet, 1 1/4 inch. Mike, this sled, how does it work?
operates through a series of gears and transmission skin that are powered off of the rear tires. The further you pull the sled down the track, the further the weight box comes from over the rear tires, as you see it right there, transferring it from a rolling weight in the back to a dragging weight when it gets up over the pan. Now, it will go down the track. The sled, the box will always be in the same spot, no matter how fast or how slow you get. Now, you see where it's topping out right there at the end of the track. That means that all of the weight in the pan has transferred over to a dragging weight, making it extremely hard to pull and stopping them within the limits of 200-foot track.
And for the uninitiated, time has nothing to do with it. It's strictly distance. Here's a lady that can let it wail. This is Paula Ewing from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, USA, and she's driving the Black Gold.
Beautiful truck, past national champion. And this young lady, by the way, was the first national champion in pulling for a lady.
Is that right?
And it went down to the final pull of the year, and she was 2 points ahead of her husband for the last round of competition. They both went in the pull-off, and Paula beat him in the last round.
A little tension at the track as well as at home.
It truly was.
She's got a Rodak engine, a 606 Rodak.
Underneath the hood, a big Rodak, but on top of that, a set of Pontiac, experimental Pontiac head. Builds a lot of horsepower. The motor construction work, there's a shot of those big Pontiac heads. Look how tall it is, Kim Bruce.
Wow.
Standing clear out of the engine compartment on this S10. Motor built by Lewis Boyd out in Norman, Oklahoma. And I'll tell you what, it's tough. There's a shot that says Kenneth on the side of it. That's her husband. He'll be coming out in a little bit with his truck. Watch Paula.
That's a neat pull for Paula Ewing. She really let that thing kick in about 5, maybe 10 feet down the track. 200 feet, full tilt for Paula Ewing from Oklahoma City. She goes the distance in Black Gold. And backing up for his first pull at it tonight is Wally Harvell from Maple Park, Illinois. And this is a Centaur, 86 Chevy, 557 under the hood.
557 Ford
under the hood. What's the deal on this now? It's kind of like Hands Across Detroit, isn't it?
Well, it's Wally's idea of that. Beautiful. It's an ex-pulling truck owned by another gentleman we see from time to time originally. And Wally had the motor, built the motor, bought the truck, and now he campaigns a pair of them. The Chevrolet with the Ford in it. Centaur, half man, half horse. This is half Chevrolet, half Ford.
And
needs to go out.
In all fury under that hood, Mike.
He needs a full pull, and Wally would really kind of help him out a little bit.
He's got the green flag. It's at his discretion. And here is Centaur. Not quite a full pull.
Not quite, but a very good hook on Wally's part. It really was a good hook. Basic, good straight pull down the track. Good tire speed. Everything seemed to hook up well. Bounced a little bit on the end, but not enough to take much away from it. Probably all the horsepower he had to move the big sled down. Now, what they're going to do is they'll drive a stake right in the middle, which they've already done. You see the stake there in the center of the track.
Right.
That goes down at the center of the sled. Then they'll come across, stretch a tight rope, measure from the rope up to the point where the stake is driven, and that's the measurement for the pull that night. Very critical, means the difference of several $100s.
And if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then feast your eyes on the Videodrome. That's Jim Mosby behind the wheel from Dos Palos, California. 85 Chevy, 540 right through the hood.
Jim Mosby called Mo,
obviously,
affectionately. Got a good truck. He runs strong from the California coast. Came to Denver, the mile high, had a little, like everyone else is having a little problems adjusting to this air. But I think Jim's got it pretty good shape. Now there's the hook, and they're going to have to bring Mo back just a little bit more, looks like, to get the hook in.
Now two hooks, one for keeps and one for safety, right?
One for the pulling hook. 6 inches below that is a safety hook. For some reason, the top hook, the one that has gone into place right now, should break, or the hitch should break. Then the bottom hook will go into effect, and it's 6 inches lower, basically powers the vehicle out. There's no traction at that point.
The red flag means just a second. And when the green flag goes up, that means that Big Mo can let it well. He's got the green flag.
He will not get the green flag till he rolls the slack out of the chain. The rule book says that once the green flag has been shown to the driver, you've got 2 minutes to leave with the sled, but that's an old rule and kind of go by the wayside.
I'll tell you what, in my neck of the woods, they say that dog won't hunt.
That dog won't hunt, and the simple reason is the fuel on it. Did not have the fuel situation, and it's basically too fat. The motor began to blubber a little bit.
Wildfire, Gary Saleen from Norfolk, Nebraska. 79 Ford, 604 Hemi engine. Looks sharp.
This is one of the original pulling trucks. This is one of the first trucks Gary was the first one that he ever built. He and his brothers all went together and built it. And the brothers stay home and take care of the farming, and Gary runs the roads with the Wildfire and really been very successful.
The brothers get like a piece of the action if he waits?
That brothers always get a piece of it. Gary's idea of what to do for the altitude adjustment, wanted to wait a little bit. He told us he'd wait a little while and watch a couple of trucks run before he decided whether to change the pill or change the gear. I did not see him lift the hood, so I don't think he changed either one of them. I believe he's going to go the way he brought it in.
Well, now, would he know just by looking how a truck behaves going down the track what the one driver did as opposed to going from pit area to pit area?
Yes, he would basically. Gary's been around it enough and studies the vehicle, studies the track enough. He knows what's going on, and he's also ran a truck before this one, which gave him a real good idea of what the track conditions would do and what the motors are doing.
Willing to bet he will not do what he did the last time.
Well, I think we're going to really see a truck hook good.
Gary Saleen.
He may be company for Black Gold on this pull.
Well, if he is, he'll be in a pull-off. We'll see. He has the green flag. And he's making tracks.
Building a lot of heat in the motor, letting the motor really get some heat in it.
I think he's made the big show. We'll see, though. It's going to be real close to a full pull.
I believe he's out, Ken Brew. And he did it unlike anyone else that we've seen here tonight. He went out completely different as he kept easing into the motor. Never broke the tires loose. He eased into the motor and actually just kept adding a little bit of fuel. I don't think the engine ever came to life. Don't think the butterflies were ever level. Not a lot of ground speed, but every time it goes around, he's making footages, and that's what's counting. Down at the end of the track, he slows down a lot, but he's still got enough momentum to pull him right out the end. A full pull. He's in the pull-off. We got company.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Dick C-Peck Tires. Giant Polar Tires. You know what? In this sport, you can't win without them. And by Rizlo, the total oil additive for over 60 years. Well, here is a showpiece. This is Ken Ewen, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, USA, with a 606 Rodak and an 86 Chevy. And folks, when you're talking Oklahoma, you're talking this.
Heavy-duty action. National champion several times over. Beautiful Chevrolet body, fabulous paintwork on it. He should have gone to school on Paula's pull. The trucks are built almost alike, but there's a different driving style. Let's see how it all works out on the truck.
Well, Mommy and Daddy
Ken
could be in a pull-off.
Well, I don't think so. I think that you're going to find that he has really torn the rear end of that truck up. When it went out, the rear tires locked completely up right at the finish line. He had the sled across. The front tires were still working, but the back end of that truck locked up, jumped up in the air. I think we're going to see that. Before he pulled, he decided he would lean the motor down, and they really dropped a big gear. They went to one of the lowest gears that they have.
But this doesn't look good.
Well, anytime you back the wrecker up to one of these pull trucks, it's a bad situation. Ken had as much ground speed and maybe more ground speed than anyone that went out. But the rear...
Busted U-joint in it. What is it? Busted the U-joint.
Oh, boy.
Dead in the water. Sir? It's dead in the water? No, we're going to put a new U-joint in it and run it.
They got Well, they broke a U-joint, so we're in real good shape on it, and that's not a big situation. You've got 1, 2, 3, about 4 bolts that hold the U-joint in. Now, when he goes back over to the pit area, you're going to see the pit men that travel with this truck slide underneath it. One of them has already gone, I'm sure, out to the truck to retrieve a new U-joint.
Right. Hopefully we could see this at the end where it happened.
Let's watch him. He's wide open. This truck has better ground speed than any truck that's qualified for the pull-off. Box is topped right there. Kenneth's not in any trouble. The truck's still hooked, and he has a good bite, or he wouldn't have broken the rear U-joint. But now watch the rear tires. Watch the rear tires as they're snapped up right there, locked it up. Front end still pulling. See the dirt flying back. So the front end still pulling. Just lock the rear end up.
And backing up for a pull at it is another member of the distaff side. This is Pat Dupes from Freeport, Illinois. And yes, that is a Ford Aerostar with a lot of fury tonight. Mike, 710 cubic inch engine.
That's a beautiful little truck. I love the looks of that truck, and it's very short. It's one of the shortest trucks on the pulling circuit. It's an original wheelbase truck. They changed the motor just going in the past week to their big engines. You got the big motor on the inside of it. American flag on top of it. One pass.
Well, the Challenger not up to the challenge, but again, not a bad pull. She's working the left side of the track, as so many drivers have so far tonight.
Well, Kim Brew, that for a short wheelbase truck, and as short as that truck is, I thought it was an excellent hook all the way around. That doesn't waste any time. She's immediately on the big motor out of the hole, right out of the starting line, and the truck gets a little ground speed. Sled comes up on top of it. Might have been a little fat on the end, but I thought it was a very good hook. Look at that finish line. You know, she's got to have it on her mind that she wants a full pull. It stops her a little short.
There she is. Pat Dupes, Freeport, Illinois.
Well, David Collins, the trainer, as it would be, the head mechanic on the Oklahoman, heads outside. The left hand, got the 2 small aluminum squares, moved them to the right hand. That covers the exhaust on the outside. The object in the left hand covers the intake manifold, and it's over with for the Oklahoman. He broke a ring gear and pinion instead of a U-joint.
Well, here is the Southern Belle. And as Southern Bells go, this one's pretty nifty. Gerald Amen from that seemingly mythical town of Pocahontas, Illinois. And since Pocahontas was a papoose, this man has been involved in truck pulling. In fact, he's a farmer, and he tells me he was one of the last to go to power steering. He's got power steering now and needs a full pull to get into the pull-off.
Well, he's got the big motor in the truck, and he could very well do it. He's really done a lot of work on the truck since coming to Denver, changing the fuel setup on it, changing the transmission. Let's hope he's got everything dialed in. Running the tires inside the body. He doesn't waste any time.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, you will not make it.
Just very, very close.
All right, now so far in the 4-wheel drive pull-off, we've got Black Gold, Wildfire. The Oklahoman has qualified, but won't be able to make the big show because of all of his problems. So he's out. Really right now, just 2 competitors. Can the Red Rabbit make the big show? Dan Quello certainly wants to. 78 Dodge, 540 KB. KB stands for what, Ken Brew?
Close, Keith Black.
Oh, okay. And also, we might point out that Quello has one other truck in the competition tonight. This is the one he wants to make the show with. This is the Red Rabbit.
And there is the Yellow Rabbit. Riding shotgun. If that isn't a mess, looks like our producer, Tom Williamson.
Really wanted to.
He knocked on it.
So close.
He's very, very close, right on the end of the track. Just a very good pull.
Well, in Portuguese, Coelho means rabbit, and the rabbit tonight only goes 178 feet and 6 inches. I say only. It was close, but not enough to get into the big show. Hey, so you might be asking yourself, what do I do at halftime of a truck pull? Well, if you go out to purchase your peanuts, you may miss the big show.
Well, it's hot action all the way around. I believe we've been invaded. Look at him, all over the, up over the jump, and he makes it. We're having a little demonstration during intermission. He's going the wrong way on that jump. Red Baron Remote Control Hobbies from Aurora, Colorado.
He's gonna crush it, crush it, crush it.
Wheel standing action. Look at him, fly down the track. Our cameramen are going berserk trying to follow this action. Endo. Luckily, no one's hurt. We're going to look at this on a replay. Now, what happens? He gets really set up for the jump and misses it with two wheels. Upside down, flips over, and it is a tragic way to end a racing career. But he's back on his feet. He's ready to go, and he's out on the track. There he goes, a spin around. It's a donut. Now, look at this. This is a 4.5 twist with a somersault in the middle. All right, Ken Brew, wow. Have you ever wanted to own your own monster truck?
My goodness. You've heard of Bigfoot. I guess that's Big Toe there, huh?
This is the way to own your own monster. These guys are really going berserk. All over the track, no action. There's the monster. Front and rear steering, just like the real thing. Watch him line up for the jump. Ooh, pretty rough little ride over that. We got a wheel bearing going bad on the right rear on that one. Look at that.
He's looking for something to crush.
He found it.
Crush it, crush it,
He found
crush it.
it.
Yeah,
Over the top of it.
Oh.
Front end is definitely going down on it. But he's still wide open.
He's right. We got people killed.
No. We've got a demo derby. Now we're going to crush some stuff. Clodbuster.
That's it. Get her.
Yeah. Crush some stuff on. I would crush that lady. Upside down. Back on its wheel. These look like. Let's see it on a replay.
Oh my.
The demo derby wipes things out. Just cleans the track.
We know all about Art Arfons and his daughter Dusty. Well, tonight the legend continues as our Mike Galloway gets a chance to talk with son Tim.
I was one of the most exciting people in pulling, and he's always came up with some wild ideas. But turbine-powered jet funny car?
Well, this is one of my favorites. We started this with USHRA, our first funny car, the Green Monster. And Starfire, we just kind of improved upon everything we did, and until we get beat, I think this is top of the line right now, and I'm really proud of this car.
Basically, Tim, what have we got here?
You've got a General Electric T58 turbine engine, which we've dolled up until it's all chrome. And it's powered to the Corvette through a John Deere skid rear end SDS transmission, and it's about as simplistic as you can get.
Now, you talk about the engine, the jet turbine motor. What would that relate to? What kind of a vehicle would have something like that?
Coast Guard helicopters with this particular model come out of, one of the bigger ones that they use for coastal patrol.
How much horsepower?
1,500 horsepower at 28,000 RPM.
28,000, that's a lot of RPM.
It idles at 20,000, so it's turning pretty good all the time.
Tim, what about the transmission and the rear end? Have you ever had any problems with breakage on it?
This car has run perfect from the day it was built. The first pass has been just as good as the rest of them. This car, I pride myself more on the construction of this car than my driving abilities of it.
Well, this is one of the most exciting vehicles you've seen. And Tim, one more thing. It blows a lot of fire.
That's what the crowd likes, and we aim to please.
Well, the name has to be familiar. The last name of Arfons. We know Art. We've seen daughter Dusty. Here is Tim, who is kind of, Mike Galloway got a different route than father and daughter. He's more into the exhibition class.
That's very true. And Tim ran tractors originally, had a turbine-powered dragster at one time. Just got back from Europe with a tour over there. Very, very beautiful Corvette funny car with a big turbine motor underneath that beautiful fiberglass body.
So not unlike father and daughter, Tim has chosen the turbine route as well.
Always. This young man is just, as all are fun, very aircraft orientated. There's the exhaust out of the turbine that powers this motor, and you're going to see a flame show that's absolutely unbelievable.
All right, now the exhaust comes out from under the hood up through the roof.
It comes out immediately to Tim's left. He's sitting right next to the exhaust on his left, right past a heat-proof shield separating him.
So there is something between him and the actual exhaust shaft.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And Timmy Arfons will put on an exhibition pass that is absolutely second to none.
What a showpiece. What a beautiful car. I mean, the aesthetics of this thing are incredible.
Well, Timmy's done a wonderful job. Does all the construction work on it himself. Now, he's sitting deep down inside this car. He has all fireproof helmet or fireproof face mask. He has a fireproof sock on. He has fireproof gloves on. Really very protected. He's in a roll cage sitting way off to the side of the car. There's Turbo Tim strapped in and getting ready to ride. And he'll lean out the side. There, kind of let you know what it's all about.
He's got to pull the sled just like our four-wheel drive modifieds did.
But he'll thunder.
Yeah.
Jet-powered. Funny, and they're going to turn down the lights and let you see what happens when Tim Arfon lights up this turbine. Setting down at the end of the track, bringing the power up. Green light on the sled.
Oh.
There's the fire. Wait a minute. We're not there yet.
Oh,
There's the fire.
Oh, man.
Starfire, Timmy Arfon, the beautiful fire show jet turbine. Wheels up in the air, and it's right out the end for Timmy Arfon. Lit up and ride. Beautiful job.
Man.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, open the door and call the FAA. I think he's in orbit. Welcome back to McNichol Arena here in Denver, Colorado. Ken Brew with Mike Galloway, and we're all set for the pull-off. 4 competitors, but only 3 will go to the gate. The Oklahoman, Ken Ewan, big trouble at the end of his pull. He's gonzo for the night. It'll be Black Gold, Wildfire, and Old Yeller. And it will be Paula Ewing in this truck, Black Gold, that will get first honors. The 86 Chevy S10. 606 Rodak. She had a nifty pull in her first time out of the chute tonight.
She'll set the mark for the other pullers to shoot at, the ones that they'll have on their mind. And there's a shot of the big Rodak block with the aluminum Pontiac designed heads on top of it. And there's a shot of Paula as she gets ready. Bring the motor up. A little heat built in it. Slack out of the chain. And she's a national champion and ready for business. And I mean business.
Not a full pull, but the truck did a lot of nice work about the last 30 feet with the six-pack on top. I like this truck, not only the way it pulls, but the way it looks.
Tell you what, Brew, that's going to be a very, very tough mark to beat. It's early pull, sometimes a little disadvantage. Other people in the pull-off get to watch her, get an idea of what's happening. That's going to be tough. She rolled it quite a ways before she ever really got into the motor.
Paula Ewing, 169 feet, 4 5/8 inches. So right now, she's got the mark to beat. Now again, we're in a pull-off situation. You see the marker for 170. That white flag is not a symbol of surrender. That is where Paula Ewing has just pulled in the first try in the pull-off. So that's the mark to beat. That's the mark that this car, this truck, and this driver has got to beat. It's Gary Saleen, who had the full pull the first time out, and now Saleen in the Wildfire will try to equal or better what Paula Ewing just did.
Gary Saleen has got a lot of things going for him, and one of them, Gary Saleen, is one of the finest drivers in truck pulling.
Now, he was out on the track, Mike, during these other pulls, before the pull-off, kind of testing the track with a knife or a screwdriver or something.
Taking a knife and sticking it in the ground, trying to find the place that has the most resistance. That's where he wants to run the truck. One other thing about this truck, Ken Brew, it operates off of a hand throttle. Gary said it lets him hook the truck to the track real well, so he does it off of a sliding hand throttle instead of a foot throttle like so many of them.
The wildfire. Gary Saleen has got the green flag.
Can he do it? All up to Gary. Beautiful Ford truck, fabulous paint.
He's letting it simmer, he's letting it boil.
He lets it build the heat inside the motor.
He sounded like he had some problems with the mix.
I think you're going to find that Paula Ewing laid down an exceptional pull. I really think you're going to find that lady just laid an exceptional pull down. I think it's a good hook for Gary.
Now here's the wildfire. He, like all the others, choosing the left side of the track.
Running the left tire. There's a little more moisture over there. Easing into the throttle. He probably owned it a little earlier than he would have liked to have been. Motor loads on the big end, but it's a good hook for Gary. You know, anytime you qualify with a pull-off, these kind of vehicles, you've got to be real happy with it.
Well, Walt Disney made a movie about it years ago, and Dan Doob says, not a bad name for a truck. This is Old Yeller. Now, he had a full pull. There's Dan. He had a full pull during the regular competition. He has got to beat what Paula Ewing has right now, and that's 169.4 and 5/8.
Good hook. Not going to make it tonight.
No. It's a nice pull. It's a good pull, but I think it only highlights what Paula has done in her pull-off. Well, they call her the First Lady of Pulling, and she was the First Lady tonight. Lady, she was the first man, woman, or child out here tonight, and this is the pull that won it for her.
I think the secret to this pull is watch the front and rear tires. She doesn't wait a long time before she opens the butterfly. She gets on it hard. The truck is really dialed into the track. You could not ask for a better hook in any way, shape, or form. It's absolutely perfect. It has to be. It won here tonight.
Paula Ewing, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The winner tonight in the modified competition. There's her husband, Ken. He qualified but couldn't pull because his truck broke down. Now, Paula won it for the Ewing household tonight.
We used to talk about if Paula won, Kenneth cooked for a week, and if Ken won, Paula cooked. And when Ken cooked, you had a lot of bologna and cheese sandwiches.
Well, that's what they'll be dining on this week. Trucks tonight, the Barefoot tracks. I mean, what do you do with this thing? Do you drive it or do you salute it? Our Mike Galloway's got the story.
This brand new 1988 Chevrolet is 22,000 pounds of monster tank truck. Bear Track is a brand new monster truck just on the circuit. Starts at the back with a 510 cubic inch alcohol burning supercharged Chevrolet. Right behind that, with the transmission going towards the front of the vehicle, is a turbo 400 Chevrolet transmission. Then a rather long, lengthy drive shaft that runs the rest of the length of the tank to the front end, which would be the rear end. This vehicle is pulled down the track instead of pushed like a normal vehicle would be. It operates on track. Now, it's 22,000 pounds. Under the hood is absolutely nothing, but they're very exciting. This is something that's the new wave in monster truck. It's something to be watched, and they're very, very exciting. They're fast, they're agile, and they're easy to handle. Well, let's crawl up and look inside this new 88 Chevrolet, and the first thing you're going to notice, and probably the most obvious part of all of it, there's no steering wheel on the inside. To make right and left turns, it's done by simply pulling on the levers. This one controls the left track, and this one controls the right track. Why they can turn on a dime. They'll lock up the left track, give fuel, and it'll turn the right track, spins it around. Very, very agile. Now, they're very heavy, but they're agile, they're quick, and they're fairly easy to handle. They operate almost like a piece of heavy construction equipment. shifter in the middle of the floor is an automatic that connects to the Turbo 400. And when the driver goes for a ride in this Barefoot truck, he never goes by himself because he always takes the Bear with him.
And welcome back to Denver, the McNichols Arena. It's time for the Battle of the Monster Trucks. And roaring onto the track is the Virginia Giant. Now we've got 3 types of competition: wheelies, car crushing, and drag racing. And Mike Galloway is on the floor. Hi, Mike.
Well, Dale Wilson just makes a spin around right in front of me. Dale under a pretty good handicap as he has broken his left hand last weekend when the wheel got out of control and crushed his hand between the steering wheel and the door as he hit the car. Now this is the wheelie portion of it. We're going to see how high they get in the air. Dale's first, Virginia Giant. He'll go up against Barefoot, and then Bear Tracks will be off by himself as it is a track vehicle.
Here comes Barefoot. There's the Virginia Giant, Dale Wilson in the 85-4. He's from Winchester, Virginia.
Well, big supercharged Hemi Ford motor under the hood. He's probably got the roughest time of it. The cars are short. There's not a lot of them. They'd like to have a great big car on the end and not a station wagon. They'd like to have the first car and the last car reversed.
In other words, have the station wagon closest to where the truck is right now.
That's right. Dale likes all the hoods lined up perfect. Here we go.
Whoa!
Drifted off to the right a little bit when he hit that first car. Got it high. You can see the left car landed, or left tire landed on top of the hood. It was a pretty good jump. Now here we go with a blown Chevrolet.
That is Fred Schaefer behind the wheel of Barefoot. And we'll take a look at the Virginia Giant one more time as he comes up.
Right there, real high action, real good wheels, lands hard, a beautiful job.
Here's Barefoot.
Supercharged, alcohol-burning Chevrolet, probably as much horsepower as any monster truck in America. And believe me, Fred Schaefer uses it for everything he's worth. When he puts one of them in the air, he'll put them all the way up in the air.
The pride of the Chevy class, Barefoot, is loaded for bear.
Granite City, Illinois, watch him. He'll put it all the way up in the air. Look at that.
Oh, man!
Looked like a rocket. Ken Brew, it looked just like a rocket.
Oh, man!
And Ken, when it got up there, it looked like it just hesitated for a minute before it landed.
Oh, time stood still. Time stood still when he was up in the air. Here he comes up.
Hits the cars right there is where he looks like he's all the way up in the air and just stopped dead still.
Oh.
Beautiful job.
Now that's entertainment. I mean, when he freezes like that in midair, and he knows there's a Virginia Giant, that's Dale Wilson.
Well, they're going to have a judging of this, and I don't think there's going to be any question as to which one of the trucks won this wheelie contest.
I don't think so either. The people's choice in the wheelies, in the standing, is Barefoot. We're going to look at the winning jump one more time as it stands still for Fred Schaefer.
Right up in the air, all 4 tires, clearing the cars and landing. What a tremendous job for Fred.
And even up in the air, Mike, the tires never stop spinning.
He didn't let off the motor. That's the most important part of it. Don't let off that engine. Well, Ken Brew on this next competition, when they're coming up, they're going to be jumping the cars. Their main concern is they will overshoot the cars. If they overshoot the cars, they'll land on the track. Landing on the track is going to be very difficult. It's rough on the truck, and it's rough on the body, the driver on the inside. Of course, Dale going with a broken left hand, just trying to take care of it.
Now, what does that do to his steering ability, not having use of that left hand?
Well, he's just now trying to hold on to the wheel as best as he can. And he's using the rear steering with his right hand and trying to do both at the same time. Got the left wrist and hand in a cast where he broke a bone in it. And Dale backing up now and getting lined up. Backs up, going to get a little more distance.
I guess if this was the Olympics, this would be the broad jump, huh?
No doubt about it. And they really put a lot of distance on them. These trucks take such a beating that they were never designed to do it originally. Now they have changed over and are doing it, seems like, all the time. Watch it. Coming right at you. He's going to go for it.
Oh, right in the middle.
Beautiful job. They'll measure for those front tires. Look at that. The car rolling up underneath him.
Oh, man.
Deal stopping, setting it down real easy. Beautiful job for Deal.
Somebody get Allstate. We've got destruction in the center of the track.
Well, I tell you what, watch Deal as he hits those cars now. The front end comes up. He never lets off the throttle. Picks the front end up real high and lands right there in the center of the action. We'll get a measurement on him. A good job for Deal Wilson.
There comes Barefoot. Barefoot, the people's choice in the wheelies, and now we'll try to duplicate it in the car jump.
Well, they're gonna tighten the cars up just a little bit, put them all back together. As Fred lines up, backs it back down the track, you're gonna see a lot of distance, Ken Bruce.
Well, now the front wheels of the Giant landed smack in the middle of the white car, the center car, and the 5-car pileup. We'll see if Barefoot can better that.
This is Fred Schaefer's heavy suit. This is what he likes to do. What he built the truck to do.
I've seen him clear 5 cars.
Well, that's what he's worried about tonight. They're worried about going all the way over the cars and landing right on the track.
Here we go. Oh, mama!
No doubt about that.
Oh, man.
No doubt about the winner. Fred Schaefer put a car length on him.
Saddle up trigger. Until Dale will be home by sunset. Fred Schaefer.
Let's watch it, Ken Bruce. He's just probably running about 5 or 6 miles an hour when he mashes the big alcohol motor and really makes this thing come to life. Now watch it the air and watch the distance. There's the air. There's the distance. What a tremendous job. Fred Schaefer knocks a home run, and that right now is 2 for 2 for Fred Schaefer. I'm standing to the immediate right of this cameraman. On the original shot, we're looking right down the throat of the Giant, and Deal Wilson sitting there waiting very patiently. It's a timed event. He's on the line.
I think we're ready.
There's the green flag. Here he's off and running. This is going to be very tight. He runs right in front of us now. He uses both the steering, trying to get a little drift. It will not come around. Really a tough start. Lines up for the cars. Watch Deal go. He's going to head for it. Oh, up on top, trying to keep it low, trying to keep the speed down. There's the timed event right there.
Now, he kept it really low coming across the cars. What was the reason for that?
Well, a lot of the racers feel like that the more air you get, the more time it takes to go up and come down. Deal's done this long enough. He feels like you keep it low, you can win these events. A good start. Now, Ken Brew, when he runs down this front straightaway right here and he starts to set up for the turn, he'd like the rear end to spin around. It just won't do it.
Yeah.
He has to go ahead and drive it around, line up for the cars in a hurry because it wouldn't drift around. And here he goes. 18 and a half seconds is his time. That's going to be a good time. He's not real high. He stays low over the cars very gently and finishes up in an 18 and a half.
I'm wondering if the problem he had turning is not directly related to his broken hand.
Well, that's true, Ken, because it's a two-hand operation when you get to moving them around.
Here is Barefoot. Barefoot has really won both of the previous competitions. The people voted for Fred Schaefer in the wheelies. He won the car jumping, and now he'll try to make it the big trifecta.
If you watch Fred Schaefer, he'll run real close to the cone, the right-hand side, and show no mercy on the big blown Chevrolet motor. Fred likes this kind of competition. I don't think we're going to see him keep the truck low. I think we're going to see him put the truck all the way in the air, possibly jumping all the cars and landing real close to the finish line.
Waiting for the green flag. It is not up yet, and now it is.
Here comes Fred. Butterflies open. Here comes his swing.
Much tighter turn.
Very good turn, just clipping it. Having a little problem leaving, though. Gonna make up some precious time. Look out! Uh-oh, that cost him. He landed sideways. I think we'll see that in a moment. Beautiful job of driving, but landed it sideways and had to bring it around.
Now, did that cost him time, or will the time be deducted?
No, but it definitely cost time in the air and the landing of it.
Okay. He did not come down flush. There's no question about that. Schaefer, though, had a jump and a half. And he's timed now just a little over 16 seconds, which should give him the lead and should give him the win.
Let's watch him. A good hook. I mean, the big blower motor's hooking. You can see the dust coming off the tires as he makes the straight shot. A very tight turn using front and rear steering all the way around. Not getting it to drift, just keeping it in close. Have a little problem, kind of falls on him right there, but he makes it up. This is where he really kills the time situation. Look at it. But watch when he lands. Gets off the car sideways, bounces around, has to gain control, and I believe he has busted an axle over on the left-hand side. I can't see real clear, but I think that he may have broken an axle. It's tank time. Watch this. Look at that.
Well, that is the Barefoot track. And that's Steve Bivens at the wheel. Oh, my goodness.
He is all over this place and all over me. Woo! Talk about tight turns and quick action, Ken Broom. Would you watch the Barefoot track?
Steve Bivens, Pontoon Beach, Illinois, in his 88 Chevy, 505, powering it. But the big story is what's underneath the tracks, the tank tracks.
22,000 pounds of vehicle. Now, he is actually not running in the competition because this is a track vehicle.
No question. Barefoot has won the competition. This kind of like icing on the cake.
We're going to give a time comparison of the two competitions.
Okay. Look at that.
Watch the bank. The motor following on in just a little bit. Motor doesn't actually not doing what he wants to do. The floor is just vibrating. Look out!
Oh, man.
I've never seen that much air in my life underneath a tank.
Mike, he had to be at least 4 feet in the air. Had to be at least 4 feet.
No doubt, Ken Broom. 4 feet would be a minimum. The floor, when he thundered down through here, actually shook underneath it. The floor just shaking as he pounds down through the track.
Kind of slides through the curve.
Here's the turn. Slides in, and he's lined up for the cars. But Ken, watch this. Look how loose the tracks get, the slack in them. High in the air. Look at that power that comes out of it. Unbelievable action, and he takes it by a second.
Mike Galloway, what a show.
Well, it's tremendous, Ken Broom. We've seen action like we've never seen before. We've seen these tanks do tremendous things that you can't believe they can do, and the pulling was absolutely fabulous. Paula Ewing taking it all home.
Well, Budweiser and the United States Hot Rod Association has presented the Truck Pull Championship Series. Tonight,